A woman was taking a bath alone at home. A shadow flashed by. She thought her husband had come back, but outside the bathroom, she was shocked to see another man's face. However, the next second, the woman realized it was all just a dream. This woman's name is Robin. It all started after she moved to a new house. One day, Robin was taking a bath alone. Suddenly, there was urgent doorbell ringing. She quickly got dressed and went to the door, but she didn't see anyone, just a bottle of red wine on the ground. However, a bottle of red wine appearing out of nowhere at the front door. Anyone would be curious about who sent it. The woman's husband Simon opened the letter on the table and found out the wine was from his old classmate Gordo. Robin instinctively asked,
"How did he get our address?"
Simon said he didn't know either. The couple who just moved into their new home didn't think much of it. They were still immersed in their sweet world together, never thinking that danger was rapidly approaching. That day Robin visited a neighbor's house, looking at other people's children with envy in her eyes. She mentioned that she was pregnant last year too. Unfortunately, she couldn't keep the baby in the end. Robin was working at home. The seemingly harmless Gordo suddenly appeared, bringing an organized list, with names and phone numbers of local plumbers, gardeners, and housekeepers. He also brought a bag of glass cleaner. Gordo said he really liked Robin's house. Kind-hearted Robin invited Gordo inside to look around. When dinner time came, the couple even asked Gordo to stay for dinner. Gordo went into compliment mode, eating while crazily praising how capable Simon was. This made Simon beam with joy. He couldn't help but brag about his current job selling security systems, and how outstanding his performance was. However, Gordo suddenly changed the subject, half-jokingly saying, "Innocent Robin just smiled," and didn't take those words to heart. After attending the party, the couple came home to see a surprising scene. The fish pond was already full of fish, and the person who sent the fish was Gordo. Simon even wrote Gordo's name on the refrigerator, and wrote "Freak" next to it. That day, when Robin came back from her morning run, Gordo appeared at the house again, and had already helped Robin set up the TV. When Gordo was throwing out trash, he accidentally saw "Freak" written on the message board. He ran out without saying a word. Normal people would get angry being called a freak, right? But Gordo surprisingly didn't hold a grudge. He invited the couple to his house for dinner. What the couple didn't expect was, Gordo, who seemed to live in the slums, actually lived more luxuriously, and they did. At this point Gordo's phone suddenly rang, and he went out to take the call. When he came back, he confessed to the couple that the mansion actually belonged to his ex-wife. The two children were also taken away by his ex-wife. The reason he went out to take the call was to avoid being heard arguing on the phone. The woman's husband Simon, after hearing this, simply stopped pretending, deliberately calling Gordo a poor loser, taking this opportunity to tell Gordo to stay away from them, and not to have any ideas about Robin. Robin felt sorry for Gordo's situation, but still left with Simon. Even the most timid person would get angry after hearing those words. Sure enough, the next day, all the fish at Simon's house were dead. The dog was also missing. Furious Simon went to confront Gordo, but the lady of the mansion said there was no such person there. At his wit's end, Simon called the police. It turned out Gordo had been lying all along. Gordo was just an employee at an auto repair shop. He used the opportunity of fixing people's cars to impersonate the owner of the mansion. However, after the dog went missing, Robin was tormented and frazzled. To prevent her depression from recurring, Robin started taking medication again. Not long after, the missing dog suddenly reappeared. After the dog came back, the couple quickly reconciled. Soon Robin became pregnant. Simon was so happy he cried tears of joy. However, Gordo appeared again. Robin curiously asked Simon about his past with his old classmate. Then she finally learned what triggered everything. It turned out that back then, Gordo was slandered by Simon as being gay and doing inappropriate things in public. The rumors spread like wildfire throughout the town. Gordo was forced to drop out of school. Gordo's entire life was ruined by Simon. To win back his wife's heart, Simon found Gordo to apologize and received Gordo's forgiveness. Couples don't hold grudges overnight. This matter was quickly put behind them, and while everyone was congratulating Simon on his promotion and raise, the living room window was suddenly smashed. The person who broke the glass wasn't Gordo, but Simon's co-worker. It turned out Simon had spread rumors to smear his colleague. The furious colleague came directly to their door. Right at this moment, Robin went into labor. After all the commotion, Robin successfully gave birth to the baby. Simon then received a call from the company. The company had found out about his dirty deeds. His boss told him to get lost. There was another new gift at the front door. Simon already had psychological trauma. He opened the gift and saw the thing he least wanted to see in his life. The disc contained a video. After Robin collapsed at home, a masked man carried her to bed. Simon went crazy and sped all the way to the hospital. Looking at his blissfully happy wife, Simon's heart was filled with uncertainty. He didn't know whether he was really the father of the child. Simon, who used to be all-powerful at school, cried so helplessly for the first time. No matter what the truth was, Simon would have to live the rest of his life with guilt.